Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm recouping a little bit. We were at Universal and Disney for the past few days, and not a lot of sleep.
True.
But it is a week from Christmas,
It is. Well, technically less than a
or
week.
less than a week. When we're recording this,
so
it's a week. But
close.
yeah, so hopefully everybody's got all their Christmas things ready, and if not,
What are you doing?
well, I get it. You wait till Christmas Eve to go get some things. You know, it's kind of what
I
guys
got
do,
it.
at least. You know,
What is it with guys too? Like I started buying Christmas presents back in October. I was like, I'm gonna get ahead of this and be ready for it before it comes in, and I am for the most part. But just guys are like, December 23rd, I should probably start looking.
it's also like the crunch time challenge. You know, it's like you wait till the last minute, then you get like there's actually a thing I forget. There's an actual thing it's called, but it's like especially if you have like ADHD, where it's like that pressure makes you super focused, and then it's like you get like a dopamine hit, like it's something like that probably, or it's just waiting till the last minute.
I think it's called procrastination. I think that's a lot of
Sometimes
it too.
procrastination leads to very high efficiency in a very narrow amount of time. It's
That's fair.
I don't know. We're not here to psychoanalyze
We're not.
Christmas buying
But
habits.
we are very different people when it comes to that kind of stuff.
It's true.
And that's why it works.
It's, you know what, that works. But hopefully
Yeah.
everybody is having a Merry Christmas and enjoying themselves. And hopefully it's not too cold where you're at.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not
Yeah.
a blizzard scenario. But if it is and you like it, there you go. But so today, like I said, we were in Orlando. We're going to talk about, we went to Universal and Disney to check out the Christmas stuff, but we're just going to talk about the Disney stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to kind of go through, there's not a lot of news today, so we're just going to kind of do a mini trip tales about what we
Yeah.
did and some things like the Christmas stuff. And we also, well, not to spoil the lead here, but we also got to check out on opening day the new Polynesian Tower.
Yeah.
At the DVC Tower, so that worked out to be able to check that out. So we will
good.
do a review of that as well. So it's kind of like a Christmas Polynesian Tower review, and I'll let you know what we think about that. As we also did get to see a room, so our friends Martino and Sarah were staying there, and we got to go tour a room and check out basically the entire resort. Also had lunch there, and we really checked it all out. Other than sleeping in the hotel,
Right.
we did everything else you would do in a hotel.
Yeah. It was great.
So we can do a full review on that. But before we do all of that, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube or you're not watching us on YouTube and you would like to watch us on YouTube, you can go to YouTube.
Every time you do that makes me laugh every time.
I realize I'm saying YouTube 95 times, but you can go to CTM Podcast on YouTube and like this video, and please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. And like I said, video versions of the show and also show clips and things like that you can check out over there. And of course, if you're listening in good old trusty audio podcast form that I'm pretty sure St. Nick was using back in his day, which is totally fine. It's reliable. We ask you to please subscribe to whatever platform you do listen on, and we're on most of those, if not all of them. And please subscribe and leave us a review. I'd greatly appreciate that. Help us to continue to grow the show. And of course, if you are still looking for some shirts, you may not get them before Christmas at this point, but if you're still looking for some shirts for your trip or late Christmas present for somebody else or yourself or whoever, you can go check out ctmapparelco.com. And that's our shirt line that we design everything in-house. We print it in-house and we ship it out to you, so it's the highest quality. We don't use third-party printers that many times the print breaks down after just a few washes and it kind of fades and crumbles. It doesn't do that. These will hold up for multiple wears and washes. And, you can have it on whatever type of shirt you want, whether it's a hoodie, sweatshirt, T-shirt, different types of T-shirts, whatever are very comfortable, and we can make those work however you would like. And till the end of the year, we do have 20% off of all orders. Just use the promo code Christmas, and you'll get 20% off. And other than being a Club 32 member, that is the biggest discount you'll be able to get right now in there. So again, use the promo code Christmas, and you will get 20% off all orders on ctmapparelco.com. And to get yourself some cool shirts. So, all right, well, let's talk about, like I said, no news here. So we're just going to kind of do a mini trip tales here.
Yeah.
And so Jamie normally does trip tales. So what do you want to talk about first?
So, I was just going to talk about our day basically first on Monday. So we did a split day of EPCOT and Hollywood Studios. And a couple of things that we did at EPCOT that were, I don't know, fairly new to most people, I think. The first thing was we went and met Moana in her new Moana 2 outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So she was been wearing her Moana 1, the first Moana movie outfit for, however many years it's been out. But since the new movie came out, then her meet and greet also got a new costume. So we met her on that, and that was great. And that's by the Moana Journey of Water attraction. So we met her there. This day it was a Monday, and it's kind of the start of a lot of people coming in for their like Christmas trips. Like it's starting to get busier, and the wait times for the rides were getting pretty long. We didn't have any fast pass, or not fast pass. I'm going to say fast pass for the end of time.
We'll know what you're talking about.
We didn't have any multi-pass for this day or single pass or anything. So we just were like, let's just do standby. We'll be fine. I was like, let's go ride Nemo. Go over to Nemo, and it is a 30-minute wait. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not waiting 30 minutes.
That's
for
how you know it's a
Nemo.
busy day at Epcot if Nemo is 30 minutes.
Exactly. So we're like, let's go look at the aquarium. So lately our son has been really into like sea life, like sharks and whales and turtles and fish and everything like that. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. So we went into the aquarium and we looked at the fish in the little fish tanks. We looked at the manatees, and we get upstairs, and there's a whole, like this huge big tank kind of on two sides. And on one side, we were looking and we saw a bunch of stingrays, and I'm pointing it out to both the kids. And I say, oh, look, there's a shark. And our son goes, oh, it's an angel shark. And I'm like, did he make that up? I'm like, nope, for sure. He knew that was an angel shark.
He knows the sharks.
And I was kind of impressed because I was like, okay, we really know, like we know what every kind of animal there is apparently about sharks. He loves sharks. So on the
He
other
also
side,
taught a class after that
yes,
on sharks.
He gave an instruction about what this, yeah. So we go to the other side and we see a shark in the very, very back, and it's kind of hard to see. So I'm like pointing it out to him, and I say, hey bud, what is that? And he goes, it's a hammerhead shark. And it really was. And he was like, so excited. We had to look at this hammerhead shark for probably about 15 minutes. Like back and forth, he just wanted to look at it. And so it was like, honestly, our daughter was kind of like, can we go? But he had the best time. And it was so cool. So like, we usually don't go in to the aquarium to do this kind of stuff. Like that's not really our vibe, but it was great given the fact that we would have probably done rides if it hadn't been a busy day. But because it was a busy day, we got to take advantage of the aquarium, and we had like the best time. So it was pretty cool.
Well, it also is a testament too of, this is one thing I'm sad about with Epcot, that it's gotten rid of a lot of that learning stuff. That Epcot used to be like, it was a good mix, and like it was unique park in that way. And all those things are like slowly going away to where like you can still like enjoy a trip, but go in there and like learn something, but also have fun. Like it's not like you're sitting in a classroom and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people maybe don't think about the aquarium too much, like on their trips. Maybe if you have kids, you do. But it's just an excellent place to, like you said, go and learn some things. I mean, like the cast members are very knowledgeable about everything. I mean, you have questions they can answer. So yeah, that was great. And then we decided to do Turtle Talk with Crush, which again, not something Jared and I typically do. So I was like, great, let's do it. And the kids had a great time, and it's always like they always have really good people being Crush for the voice and stuff. So that was always great. It's great. I love it. We didn't wait too long for that. That's always like 15 minutes.
That's usually not a bad wait on that one.
Yeah, so that was good to do that. Then we went to Communicore Hall. And this is Festival of the Holidays is going on right now at Epcot. And so Communicore Hall is being used as part of that celebration. And inside they have a gingerbread spaceship Earth with lights. It lights up.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember how long. I think it's 8 feet tall. And they have a bunch of stats about the gingerbread spaceship Earth, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it sits in the middle, and it every once in a while it's supposed to light up and do kind of like a show. Now, they have a timer that's supposed to count down when it's supposed to start. That was not on when we were there. So I don't think they were doing that either that day or anymore. I don't know. I don't know if it's broken. I don't know. But it was lighting up. Like you could see the lights. There was just no like music and stuff. But very impressive.
I mean, all that stuff's always impressive just
Always.
because you imagine it just takes hours and hours to do that stuff. One thing they also added in, the community dining hall, which is Communicore Hall, is they now have the little kind of projections on the walls and stuff of like snowflakes.
Yeah, they did have snowflakes. Yep.
Now, it's not like groundbreaking, but I will say, how long have we talked about the Communicore Hall about like put something on the walls, do something. Like they did do that. So, with them talking about last week of like fixing the lights out in the garden area.
Yeah.
And then doing this, I mean, like it is a step in the right direction, at least, of doing something. But, maybe they'll continue. I don't know. That's one of those spaces where it's like maybe they continue to add stuff in there because surely they've heard that feedback. But it was a more festive, sort of atmosphere than it was. So maybe they can continue to improve in there on that.
I mean, and they had this glimmering or glistening trees, like forest kind of thing on both sides of the entrances. And it was just trees with lights on it, which I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and they also had like those photo op spots, which was like, again, it's something.
It is something.
It's like, it's almost, I feel like everything with Communicore Hall is, all right, guys, we got $50. And they're like, okay. And then they're just trying to make a budget work of like $50 or something. It's like they don't have like whatever vision they might have. They're just like, sorry. It's whatever Michaels has on hand, and we just do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Honestly, though, I know we we jar about this place a lot, and in fact that it's not being utilized to what the kind it was supposed to be utilized to. But it is a place to get out of the rain, get some AC. You can sit at the tables. They do have tables in there.
Not as many when they have a festival going on, though.
They do take some of them out. Yeah, they do.
So there's not as many table space. Well, and that's the thing. Like, it's a fine space. Again, if like in the summer you can get some AC, like you can take a beat, but you could also design the building a bit nicer than just what it is. But it is what it is for the time being. So they're not going to bulldoze the thing and redo it. So I suppose whatever they are working with, maybe they start improving what they do in there with festivals and things like that.
Yeah, I hope so. But outside of Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza area, they of course are doing the Encanto show still periodically through the day. They also are doing Joyful performances. That musical group, they are doing that like across the way. They have another stage set up in that same area. So if you're interested, Joyful is over there. They used to be over kind of the World Show Place area, or like right in front when you first walk into World Showcase,
which nobody really knew they were there.
Well, it's kind of back
it's tucked way back in there.
Yeah, this is way better. But we also stopped here and went to the Favorites of Festivals Past Holiday Kitchen, and this is in Communicore Plaza as well. And this is supposed to be a place where you can find food or drinks that were from festivals in the past. I just don't remember any of these being in festivals past. I think they're all new items. Well, but that's okay.
And it's a weird thing. It's like, how many people would remember specifically? I couldn't tell. Like, we've been to tons of these things. I couldn't tell you specifically a singular dish that I was like, oh yeah, I remember that from like 2018. You know what I mean? I just don't. Right. I don't know how many people would actually remember that.
So stuff. It's possible that these are from like 2015. I just don't remember.
It could be.
I don't know. So we got all three of the food items. None of the drinks, just the food items. So we got the Reuben croquettes with pastrami, sauerkraut, and Swiss cheese with Thousand Island dipping sauce. What did you think of these?
They were okay.
They're kind of mushy.
I like the mushy. It wasn't as good as the ones for Jollywood Nights that Baseline Tap House had, which are very similar to these. Those were more like mac and cheese, but they were fine. There was nothing. I didn't think they were amazing or anything.
I think they're pretty good. It could use more pastrami. Always more meat. I'm always for that.
Yeah.
But they came with, I believe, 6. So it was a pretty good. So basically like $1 a croquette.
Yeah.
So there you
Roughly.
go. Yeah. So not too bad. I don't know if I would get this again, but it was definitely like it was good. It was decent. Then we got the brown sugar and mustard glazed ham sliders with cranberry and apple coleslaw on a Hawaiian roll. Now I ate these because Jared doesn't do the coleslaw.
I do not like coleslaw.
Not that, or cranberries really. But these were excellent. These were excellent. Now, if you are not a coleslaw fan, you could maybe scrape this off. But it's actually part of the slider, so I would keep it on. But the ham was like thick slice ham, so it was just really cool. And then the cranberry and the apple coleslaw together with the Hawaiian roll, it was delicious. I would get this again, 100%. And I think this was also $6. And then the Baducho Panettone holiday trifle with eggnog, custard, and cranberry cherry compote. This was $5.75, I believe, and it was pretty good. It was heavy on the cherry and cranberries. The eggnog custard, it was in there too. I don't know. I'm not a big trifle fan, but I liked all the flavors.
I mean, it wasn't too sweet. It was kind of heavy on the cherry and cranberries.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could find a spot in between them, like
You're not a fruit guy.
It was not my. It was I don't like fruit in my dessert, so I didn't really
crazy.
I didn't really much care for it personally.
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, so I mean, as a decent options at this holiday kitchen, it's actually the only one we did this day. I was actually supposed to do a single, like just a day trip on, I think it was like beginning of December, and our daughter was sick, so I didn't get to go. But hopefully, next year we're gonna hit more of these holiday kitchens. But I wish this festival was longer. It's just there's not enough time.
Yeah, especially on a busy day at Epcot, some of the lines get long too, and you're just like, if you're gonna wait in line, especially when you got kids with you, you're just like might as well be more for a ride than it would be just for food and things like that. But
yeah. And then we hit Connections Eatery, and I got the holiday sweater liege waffle with this chocolate coated brioche waffle with a flurry of blizzard themed sprinkles and white chocolate garnish. And this was for our daughter. It comes with like a white chocolate piece on the top, and I mean these are prepackaged. And they're not like moist or anything. So I don't know. I don't really like them being prepackaged like this. If you get the ones that you can order from the eatery and they come like freshly made with the strawberries on top, the whipped cream, those are good. These, I'd skip these.
Yeah, the ones that are packaged are just not very good. Because I feel like a waffle needs to be warm and have stuff like just a cold. Like I don't know anybody just wants like room temperature cold waffle.
Wow.
And our daughter didn't like it either.
She liked the chocolate on the top.
Well, that was it, yeah.
Pretty much. And then we decided to do the cookie stroll. Every festival, they have a cookie stroll or a food stroll of some type. And this one is when you take the festival passport, go around to the holiday kitchens that are offering a special cookie that's on the stroll, and you get 5 cookies. You stamp your passport for each of those. And then you go to holiday desserts, I think it's what it's called, and you go to that holiday kitchen and they get you a completer prize. And so the cookies that we got this year were holiday sugar cookie from Connections Cafe, peppermint pinwheel cookie from Yukon, a coffee mocha cookie topped with coffee infused buttercream, cocoa nibs, and chocolate covered espresso beans that is gluten free. That's from Melikaliki Maka. Got cinnamon spice chocolate crinkle cookie from Noche Buena. The peanut butter cookie made with red and green M&Ms, milk chocolate minis. That is from Sunshine Seasons. And then the completer prize that we got for all of that was an M&M cookie mix, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'd rather they give something that's like ready. And then
I'm not going to lie. I thought the prize was lame. Because the prize is, here's more things to do later.
Yeah,
like,
it's
just.
I can make this myself. Okay.
Yeah. The cookie stroll to me, like the cookies, as good as you can get cookies on Disney property, like on Disney Springs, like Gideon's. And
I see.
What is it? Lake House?
Summer House?
Summer House. I would say Lake House.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of places that get really good cookies on Disney property. And yet when you do the festivals, for the most part, the Disney cookies, not very, even like the sugar cookie, like it just didn't taste that good. I don't know what.
It was okay.
And the ones
okay.
What was the one last year they changed where you couldn't have it this year? Linzer cookie.
The Linzer cookie. Oh, thank you for bringing this up. So the Linzer cookie in Germany, and the Germany one, it is now made with hazelnut. And I can't have hazelnut. I am allergic to that. And I actually confirmed this with somebody else that was at the festival the first day. I was like, they didn't used to have hazelnut in this cookie, right? Like, I don't remember that. And she checked because she's a gluten-free, like, allergy food girl. And she said, nope. They did not do that last year, so that's new.
Like when you have something that works and it gets I just don't understand that.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's the cookie. It's the challenge with the cookies. Like I think if they had really good cookies, on the cookie stroll, it'd actually be really, really popular. Like I think it'd be like something, but it's like the cookies. I mean, we've had a few cookies on this thing. Maybe not this year, but like the last few years, where I legitimately just threw it away.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Well.
I don't understand it.
The peppermint pinwheel cookie is yucky. The coffee mocha cookie was, like I said, it was gluten free, and so that made a lot of people happy, I'm sure, but it wasn't great. I think my favorite was the cinnamon spice chocolate crinkle cookie. I think I had that last year. Did you try it? You tried that, right?
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
But our daughter liked the peanut butter cookie from Sunshine Seasons.
That one wasn't.
Which almost was big. It was bigger than a regular cookie.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Again, go find an old sweet grandma and just have her come and be like, make us some cookies, and they would be really good. I don't feel like it's that difficult. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. So we kind of finished up there and then went over to Hollywood Studios, and I'll just save you from an entire thing of just talking about, we did all the kids stuff. We did the Frozen sing-along show. We met Olaf. We did Toy Story Mania. We did Alien Swirling Saucers 3 times. We did Slinky Dog Dash twice. Muppet Vision 3D. Took some pictures. Had some dinner. It was truly a kid night.
Well,
for sure.
I mean, it was like I would have probably done. I may have done Rise of the Resistance because it wasn't a terrible wait time.
I would have too, yeah.
Because it actually most of the day it wasn't storming. It was like slightly like sprinkling and then sort of aggressively still sprinkling, and then it would kind of go in and out. So the crowds weren't bad. I don't know if it was because of the weather. So the crowd calendar is supposed to be like an 8 this day.
Yeah, it was.
But it really wasn't that bad. So even
it was like a 4.
Yeah. So the longest we waited, our daughter really wanted to do Slinky Dog Dash, and it said a 60-minute wait, and she's like, "I'll wait for that." And I was like, "Okay." I think we waited 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rise of the Resistance was like 50 minutes.
It was down for a little bit and then came back up, and then
so the wait times weren't that bad. It wasn't that busy in the park, and we actually didn't intend to stay that late. We just kept doing stuff, and then we ended up closing out the park.
It was fun,
which was fun. We did do a lot of extra stuff. Like Alien Swirling Saucers was a walk on for the past like 45 minutes for the most part. So we did that a few times.
The kids love that one, so it's like, of course, we'll do it.
And then like Toy Story Mania was 30-ish minutes. So like nothing was bad. And Hollywood Studios can be pretty bad on wait times a lot of times.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, we didn't try to do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway or anything like that. But again, the wait times, I don't think anything was over an hour. At any time.
I saw the longest was Slinky Dog at 60.
I think that was a long.
I think it popped up to 65 shortly.
Okay.
But then we did the old trick of what I talked about in the show before, was we were sitting there and we had eaten, and then I think we had taken some pictures. We did Muppet Vision 3D.
Yeah.
Because I was like, let's go over. We got in. It was just me and the kids because you were getting something to eat.
Yeah.
And they were like, 1 more minute till the show. So we got in the last show. So I don't know if I'll do it again, but did pay our respects to Muppet Vision 3D.
Very nice.
And saw that. And then we got out of there. We had like 45 minutes left.
Something like that.
Until it closed.
Yep.
And I told our daughter, I'm like, well, you might be able to ride Slinky Dog again. So we went over there, and then I think they said like a 25, 30
it said 35 minutes at that point.
Yeah, so I was like, now's the time to do it because not as many people like in the the Lightning Lane. And so that worked out pretty well. So a lot of times waiting until the end of the night is the time to, like, if you really want to ride something, a lot of times you get through a little quicker.
We waited 15 for that one. So it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And we got out about 5 minutes before the park closed. So we could have maybe done it again.
Well, I asked her if she wanted to do that or she wanted to do Alien Swirling Saucers, and she said she wanted to do Alien Swirling Saucers.
Yeah.
So, and then which our son wanted to do, so I took the kids on that and did that.
That was pretty fun. It was like you guys were one of the only ones left.
We would have been the only ones on it, except for right at the last minute. Like, I figured nobody else was. We got in line at like 8:58.
Yeah, it was close.
And apparently one other family got in behind us. But it would have been just us on there, but it was just us and a couple of people. But
it was fun to do that with our kids because, I mean, they're 8 and 5. So they're still on the younger side and don't really stay up very late, but they're staying up a little bit later as they get older. So we can kind of do more night stuff with them.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
I like theme parks at night. I always just
Yes.
feel like it has a different feel to it too.
Absolutely. So it was great.
So.
But that was our Monday.
That was our Monday. Yes.
Yep.
So, and then on Tuesday, we didn't do any park stuff. So we decided to go look at some of the Christmas decorations around the resorts and then go over and check out the new Island Tower at the Polynesian, as this was going to be the opening day of it.
We actually shifted our trip a little bit to do this. We were supposed to go the weekend before, and I was like, well, you know, our friends are going to be down there at that time. They're staying there. It's a grand opening. Let's just shift our trip a little bit forward, or I guess back. How do you say that?
We would have pushed it back.
Pushed it back. Yes. So
going
sorry.
forward, I mean, we would have gone earlier.
That's right. See, that's what it confuses my brain. So we pushed it back a few days to be able to do that. So that's why it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday trip that we don't usually do.
True. My days are all messed up. Today is Wednesday, and it feels like it's Monday. It's very strange.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, if you're not aware of what this is, the Polynesian Tower is a new DVC resort tower in the Polynesian. And you want to go through a little bit of facts on this?
Sure. So officially opened December 17th. That was Tuesday. It is the second DVC, Disney Vacation Club Tower, built at Walt Disney World. The first was Riviera, and they're currently working on a third at Fort Wilderness called the Lakeshore Lodge.
It's Reflections.
Yeah, Reflections. So they're really doing a lot more of these DVC towers. I think that's the way going forward. No more, long houses at Polynesian or, cabins at Fort Wilderness. Towers is where it's at.
Apparently.
So this sits between the existing Polynesian Village buildings, the longhouses, and the wedding pavilion. So it's right where the Spirit of Aloha dinner show used to be. In fact, if you look at Google Maps or you try to turn on your location services like on Instagram, it'll show Spirit of Aloha for your location.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, that's so sad. There are 260 guest rooms in these categories. I've got duo studios that sleep 2, deluxe studios sleep 4, 1 bedrooms that sleep 5, 2 bedrooms that sleep 9, and then there's a whole new category, 2-bedroom penthouse villas, and they are snazzy.
I'm sure you pay a pretty penny for those.
Pretty penny. Beautiful views of Seven Seas Lagoon and the castle and stuff, but hefty price to pay for those.
Yeah, so they've got all that in there. So let's go through. Do you want to go first impressions first, or do you want to talk about more of the vibe and feel of it all?
Let's do first impressions.
Okay. My first impression kind of stems how I thought it was to begin with, which is the outside of it, there's nothing, it kind of looks like a Hilton. There's nothing like amazing about it from the outside. It does have some extra little theming on it that kind of gives it a little bit of a Polynesian vibe. It doesn't match the Polynesian aesthetic of the rest of the resort, which has been something I've said for a while that I said was going to bug me about it.
So you don't like that? You don't like that it looks more modern than the
that's
others?
and that's what I was going to say. My issue with this place, and we'll talk about more about it, is not that it exists. Like like I said, the outside, it looks kind of plain. Inside, it's pretty. It's very modern Polynesian feel and Moana things. It is pretty. It just doesn't fit the Polynesian vibe. So to me, I'm like, if you had this somewhere else, I'm like, this is cool. That's nice. But when it's supposed to be part of the Polynesian, like to me, Polynesian's like old, retro poly, especially on Christmas time. It has a certain look and feel to it. And this hotel just doesn't have anything of that. So to me, it automatically, I'm just like, it just feels weird having it there. But it is nice. It's got some really cool views. It's got a lot of things around it that, got like the hammocks you can lay in. It doesn't have much, like, I guess you could say that's for kids. Like they got sand, you can do it. So like the aesthetics of it are very modern. With the food and everything. The lobby, not very big. Like it's not a very big resort in general. So I would say
have a lot of space there.
No. It's kind of exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
If I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like, what about you?
Yeah. So, we walked from Grand Floridian because we looked at the gingerbread house and stuff over there, and we took the pathway. We're walking. So we kind of entered from that side of the resort. And yeah, first impressions were very much like it felt smaller
I mean, you can tell the footprint is very small.
Yeah, it felt smaller than I thought. So that's okay. That's fine. It's very like the walkway path, like again, like as you're going from Grand Floridian to this tower onto the village part of the hotel. It's very close to the water. Like there's not a lot of room there, which is crazy. But yeah, it's very it's more simple. It's very simple. Like it's just like chairs and hammocks, like you said, and a little bit of Polynesian flair. Like some of the balconies have, I don't even know what that design is, but it's like, again, Moana themed.
Yeah, they have I call them accents. Just kind of
thank you. That's the word. So there's that. And then, of course, the restaurant, which I'll talk about in a second, was if you're facing it was to the left. So, and it took up a pretty big footprint on that left side in the front.
But the restaurant is not that big.
Not that big.
Not very big at all. Because when we tried it, we did eat here and we couldn't get a table. So you can get it's quick service. So you can get it to go. So we did get it to go. But
is it quick service?
Well, I mean,
that's the question.
You can order it to go. It has quick service prices for the most part.
It's like a hybrid kind of, because you can do. I guess we can just talk about that right now. Do you want to talk about the restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So it's Wailulu is the restaurant we're talking about, and that's bar and grill. It is walk up. No reservations can be made. They do a grab and go thing for breakfast, and they do lunch and dinner where you can sit down inside. Now you can sit down, and you'll have a server that brings you stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a strange setup, and it would be like Captain Cook's having, when you sit down, they basically have a server come to you, but you can still order it off off your phone. It's kind of a strange little hybrid thing there, so I don't really know how to classify it. But yeah,
we'll just call it casual dining.
Yeah,
we'll just do it like that.
Now I will say, like I said, not many. I don't know how many tables and chairs they had in there, but it was not a ton. Now, granted, this was opening day, so it was busy, and a lot of people were. We'll just say I would nickname them Coleman because they liked camping. We'll put it that way.
Ooh,
they were enjoying camping out in here. So if you wanted to get a seat in here, like people weren't leaving very quickly. But it did have cool views. So outside, like you literally like sitting over the water, you can see the castle. You had a little.
Oh my gosh, those booths.
Yeah, and you had a little like there's a sort of like a waterfall fountain outside.
It's like an infinity.
Yeah.
Feature.
It had a lot of cool aesthetic views with that. Like
Absolutely.
It is in the evening time. I imagine it'd be really pretty out there. If it was like the nice weather, hang out there like that. I'm sure it would be great. So it had a lot of things that were cool about it. Just everything with this hotel is just, or resort, whatever you want to call it, is just very small. Not a big footprint.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, like you said, there's 260 rooms, so it's not a ton of people staying in this tower. You can use the amenities here at the tower if you're staying in the regular hotel and vice versa. So if you want to come over and eat, you can. If you want to use the fitness center, which, do you want to talk about the fitness center?
Yeah, I took a peek in there. It's actually it's one of the bigger ones I've seen, actually. I was pretty surprised by it. So it had, it's got your ellipticals and your treadmills. It did have free weights. I think they're up to like 50 or they typically as high as they go. Had a lot of machines. They did have a touch screen TV where you could do like an aerobics class. Like you could pick a class and follow an instructor on there. It also had a couple of specialized machines that were kind of pretty neat. I don't think I've seen them have in a resort before. Then at the end they had orange and cranberry water, I think, which is actually really good. You just pour it out and get it. But
elderberry, that's what it was. Yeah.
And I mean, I was very surprised at how big and kind of nice it was. So again, if you just want to get a decent workout in, it's not bad at all.
So there's a door from the outside into the fitness center. Is there one on the inside too?
No, it's just that outside entrance.
You have to go outside to get into it?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure I didn't see anywhere in there you would have had an entrance on the inside. Maybe for employees, but I didn't see one for guests, but I didn't really look that close.
But this is also really cool because the Polynesian has never had a fitness center before, and they always had to share with Grand Floridian.
That may have been why they made it a little bit bigger. I was going to say that because they don't have a dedicated one for Polynesian, so they may have made it a bit bigger to be able to have people from Polynesian. Yeah,
absolutely. So, I mean, if that's one thing that is important to you to have, Polynesian's got it now, you guys. So there you go.
You can also run on the sand like Rocky. Yeah, they got sand now.
They do have sand.
Yeah.
They do have sand. The pool, the Cove pool. That's their pool right by there. What do you think of that one?
if you would have looked at the concept art, you would have expected quite a bit more. They had some infinity pool action going on here.
They have 0 entry still, which is fine.
Yeah, the pool was, if I'm being honest, is very basic. Given that the other pool, the main pool, is not that far away, if you've got kids, I would imagine, well, it depends. So
just go to the lava pool.
The pool itself was just very basic, no frills, no slide, no anything about it. It had 0 entry. The kids' splash pad area did have, it's got the Moana on a boat.
Moana's Voyage is what it's called.
Yeah. It's like a sculpture that sits there, but it doesn't really have any interactivity to it. So I don't really know how much kids would really be into it. You know what I mean? They can climb on it. They can do
pretend
stuff.
that they're sailing with
Yeah,
Moana.
they can. Obviously, if they like Moana, it's something they would really be into. And it's brand new.
I see what you're saying. Like other places that have like the splash, the water, the buckets that dump, or like going down.
This
slides.
doesn't have any of that.
It's
It's just basically you have little, it's got splash pad area things around it, but like on the boat itself, there's nothing to it other than it's like the sculpture or whatever of her on the boat. So it's a cool. Honestly, it's a cool picture. I honestly don't know. Like our kids, we didn't have swimsuits or anything with us, so they didn't play in it. I don't really know how kids would feel about it. There were no kids in there at the time, so I don't really know.
First day though, so I don't know.
Right. So given it's not your typical splash pad area that they do, so.
To be fair though, it is the DVC pool, and so it's not supposed to be the main feature pool of the resort. That's saved for lava pool.
True.
So if you want to do the splash area stuff, you want the slides, all that stuff, then lava pool is where you go. This is definitely an option though if you want to chill out and get some rays, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think one thing this resort will probably do is make the regular pool busier.
Yeah.
And I think it'll make a lot of the things that the Polynesian is busier in general. But I mean, I would say if you've got kids, I would go over to the lava pool for sure over this one. Okay.
What'd you think of the lobby?
Again, small. It was really nice.
It's beautiful.
It had a lot of like cool lighting elements. It's very tall.
Yes.
Again, very it's like a mix. It was like a very modern poly Moana vibe.
So they have said the tower will, quote, celebrate the vibrant spirit of the Polynesian Islands, the natural elements, and our favorite wayfinder, Moana. And it definitely does that.
Yeah.
Because they use a lot of grayish, like gray beige.
Yeah.
A lot of gray.
I don't know how I feel about that. They had a really nice big table in there that you could sit at. They had like these grass pillar things from the ceiling that were in there.
They're pretty.
So it added little accent colors to it. Now, one thing about the lobby here that's interesting is there are no check-in desks.
Nope.
So you just have cast members based on iPads. Mm-hmm. And so it does free up space in there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel real cramped. Because, again, it's not very... And I think they did that because it's not very big.
Right. And there's a lot of seating. There's a lot of seating in there.
Yeah.
So if you do want to just chill in there, it's definitely possible. But you're right. Yeah, no check-in desks.
I think they had charging cable. Like you could charge stuff on some of the stuff you could sit at there.
Yeah.
That's actually where we ate our food, was at that big table, just because there's nowhere else to sit. But they have seating on the side as well. It's got, it's big windows. So it's got a lot of light that comes in.
Yeah.
So I did like that. So, I mean, it's not a grand lobby. It's not as like a Polynesian lobby, but it's very... I'm trying to think like Riviera. Like Riviera is like that too, though. Riviera doesn't have like a grand lobby. Like the lobby's just kind of okay. I would say this one's
all of the DVC lobbies.
Yeah,
like
I would say this one is nicer than Riviera, probably.
This DVC lobby, based compared to the other ones, I feel is the best. That's my opinion. But
it's the most unique.
I feel it's the best.
Well, if you think about most of them just don't have a whole lot to the lobbies. So
I mean, it's not meant to though, I mean, it's like home away from home kind of feel. It's not meant to be grand or anything like that. I would say Kidani is also good. Again, but not very big, but kind of it's just like a smaller version of their Jumbo House one.
Yeah. But you do have the restaurant right off the lobby there.
Yeah.
So everything is very nearby.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, it's just not very big.
The ceiling is really pretty with the lighting and the little...
The lighting, I will say, throughout the entire resort, the lighting elements and stuff they did, I did like.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of, in the hallways, which was about the room here in a minute, they had sort of these accent lights throughout and I'll try and put up some overlay pictures here while I'm talking about this, but, in the mirrors in the hotel room, the lobby, all the stuff like that with the lighting, I did like.
Yeah.
Because it was modern, but they kind of put a little bit of a a Moana vibe to it. So at least it wasn't just like standard stock lighting. It seemed like it was something different.
It was definitely obviously it's Polynesian themed, but it just has accents of Moana here and there. Especially like in the rooms, definitely, but in the lobby too. Just it's not overboard. There's one wall where it's like this like teal green color, and there's like imprints of things
it's like
from
an
the
accent
movie.
wall a little bit.
Yeah, we took a picture in front of it. It's really pretty, but I really liked that. So
yeah, there's little things at the ends of hallways. You'll see pictures or paintings and it's like, again, Moana. So.
Murals, which I think are wallpaper. Now that I'm looking at it, I was like, I think it's wallpaper, but they look like murals.
Yeah, and the thing is, other than Moana in the kiddie pool area, there's really nothing that's like overtly Moana.
Correct.
Most of it is very subtle. It doesn't, which, you know, you look at Disney in the 90s and they went like over the top with the theming, and they went through a period of time when everything was just like bland. It looks like a hospital room. I'm kind of hoping they're finding a middle ground between it looks like Disney threw up on the walls and nothing on the walls, whereas maybe like you can have, it's okay to have a little bit more accent into the hotels.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily have to be just Moana's face on a wall.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I'm hoping they get kind of more toward that, because I do think the hotels in general do need more, they need more of like a Disney vibe to them, other than just a lot of times they can just feel like any other hotel, especially the values. But.
Yeah. The room. Talk about our friend's room.
Yeah. Very small, I will say. Much smaller room.
They're in a studio theme park view, by the way.
Yeah.
And
so small. View was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Could see the Magic Kingdom and all that stuff like that.
View. The balcony was big.
The door is
Big
very
balcony.
heavy. So what's one that I guess it's good or bad. I don't know, but it was a very heavy door.
Hard to open, yeah.
So the view was good. Now I will say it was a smaller room, but they did use the space very well. So this room is laid out very different from other rooms I've seen.
Other studios.
So
like
it kind of
this,
did like shallower counters. Now they did a thing. If you've ever been in the one bedrooms, it's like beach club, they kind of have that booth seating that goes around a table. They took a version of that, made it smaller, and put it over there. So they still have the Murphy bed in here, but instead of having the Murphy bed with a table and chairs, and then you have to move those chairs somewhere in that room to pull it down, this one has this like sort of booth thing and little table there. So it actually, and there's like another stool. Mm-hmm. So I actually think it's a pretty good use of the space, because you don't have to put other chairs somewhere in the room when you pull the bed out. So
there's no coffee table or anything in front of the Murphy bed. It's just a small, skinny table that you can move very easily.
But they also did put like a little small couch on instead of having the table that comes down, you can sit on a small couch on the Murphy bed, which they've done that before in other rooms too.
Yeah, the table thing is in the values. DVCs, they all have the couch like in front of the bed. So when you pull down the bed, though, there's Tefiti on the headboard, which is kind of nice. I like that. Again, another Moana accent. But again, this room, the kitchen area is it's like right along the wall next to the Murphy bed, which is a new layout, again, like you were saying.
Yeah, like I said, it's laid out very different, but it was a pretty, again, you can tell they're smaller, but it was a pretty, unique use of the space. The lighting in the bathroom is cool. You did have
the bathroom.
You had a walk-in shower. You also had a dedicated room with the toilet in there. So the bathroom,
frosted door.
It did. The bathroom is actually not too small. It was a decent size.
It's okay. If you are comparing the size to the Polynesian bathrooms, it's a lot smaller.
Starting to say these rooms were nowhere near the size of the Polynesian rooms, because those were some of the first ones Disney ever built, and they soon figured out make the room smaller, have more rooms, and sell more hotel rooms.
If you want space, if you want lots of space, this may not be the place to stay. I would definitely choose the Village side, and the other deluxe studios over there. But
I mean, if you're talking about like staying
too.
here for a week, like a family of four, it would be tight.
You could still make it work.
You can make it work, of course. I'm just saying it's it's nice. It was, the amenities were nice and things like that, but it is a little bit smaller.
Yeah. You had another Moana accent. You had a conch shell that was on the top shelf over there, and it won't move. We tried to pick it up. We could not do it. Just the accents of Moana here and there. And it's beautiful. It's different. So they redid the rooms in the Village side, Polynesian Village side, the regular just hotel rooms, cash rooms, to be more Moana themed. And those have a lot more color. They have a lot more like teals and like coral colors. This one is very neutral.
Yeah.
Very more neutral colors. Hints here and there, but very, very neutral. And that's okay. That's the vibe of the hotel. So, by the way, you cannot access the elevators unless you are a hotel guest.
That may not be something they keep around. I've seen now, even Universal's done this before, but yes, when you get on there, they had somebody watching the elevator, so you had to be a guest to get on, and you actually had to use your Magic Band to even go up or down the elevators, which I get on opening day. Keep out people from wandering around, because I also had terraces here, which we'll talk about, which, I'm sure they want to keep people out of those. So they could actually keep this in place because of that, though, of the terraces. That's one thing I could imagine. Maybe that's the reason as to why. Because with those, these are, how would you describe these things? So it's like not outdoor spaces, but like sort of open spaces with views.
Are we talking about the terraces now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're supposed to be hideaway terrace gardens, which it's like a shoebox with only one side on the side open, if you will.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of like that in
a diorama.
There's different themed ones. A diorama.
It feels like a diorama. Remember dioramas from school, and you'd set the things up in the shoebox, and you could look in. And, they were covered on all sides.
We never called it a diorama. But
no,
I don't recall.
Okay, well, the Polynesian dioramas, there's 4 of them.
Yes, and certain ones have a view. One of them, now a couple have a view of like where you can see the fireworks. Some of them have a view of construction. Currently
on the other side.
But I will say I don't know how it'll be interesting. Like if the hotel's full, like how full do those things get?
Right.
I imagine they'll probably get pretty full. Now they do have some lounge seating. They got some cabana-like things, but again, you're talking about that could sit maybe 10 people.
The wicker bubble.
The wicker bubble, as it got to be known.
Just sit in the wicker bubble.
So these are nice. I would definitely go out here and hang out if I need to do some work, chill out in there. Like if you had a drink, a snack, like hang out, and just enjoy like a nice little breeze. I don't imagine in the summer these will be very much in demand in the daytime.
If they turn the fan on, maybe.
I mean, even a fan in the middle of the summer in Florida is just like someone just blowing hot air on you.
Yeah.
But it is
right.
in the shade for the most part. Now I'm sure at some point there can be sunlight in there. But they're unique. I've never seen them do this in a hotel before. So I think it is kind of a cool little thing that makes. My guess is with a lack of space, they kind of got a little creative here and thought about doing these.
Well, the best one is the Wave. I think it's the Wave Break Terrace. That one's the best. That one's the one with the best views of the castle. Each of them are themed to a different Polynesian island. There's Bora Bora, Samoa, Hawaii, and Fiji. So you might get a different theme depending on where you're at. But this thing, I mean, I'm really glad that they added these. I think it really adds to the tower. They took away some rooms to do it, obviously, but I think it's a wonderful addition.
I guess it depends on if it's something you would like. I don't think it would appeal to everybody. I think it would just depend on if it's something. Yeah, I mean,
I will like it.
Well, in the end, I wonder how busy they get. What does it look like around, fireworks and stuff like that? I'm sure they probably get pretty busy, but in general, I do think they're kind of a cool accent.
Real quick, we forgot to say what we got at the Wailulu Bar and Grill, which means calm water, by the way.
Calm water.
Y means water, Lulu means calm. Well, calm water. So we did a mobile order, and I put the mobile order in at 10:30, and it wasn't available to pick up until 1:30. It was a 3-hour wait for that, which is crazy, but it was the first day, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So what did you get, Jared?
How do you pronounce this thing?
It's called musabi.
Okay, musabi. It's basically sushi spam.
It's kind of sushi.
It's like a bit spam roll. This was delicious.
Musubi. That's what it is. Do you want to read it?
I can't see it from here.
Yeah, it's glazed spam, crispy rice pearls, furikake, and sriracha honey for $12.
This was really good. I'd never had spam that I know of, so I wasn't quite sure. But I want to get something different. It was pretty decent portion size, but it was really, really good. I was pretty impressed by it. It had a little bit of a crunch to it too, which I like a little bit of a crunch, especially with like sushi. So I would highly recommend this. It was very good.
Yeah, it was really good. It wasn't like spicy, or it's just sriracha honey, but it wasn't really spicy.
No, it wasn't spicy.
I did enjoy the crunch. I did enjoy that. And yeah, Spam. So I've been to Hawaii before. It's been years, but everything is Spam there. There's so much Spam.
Right. Yeah.
So it made sense to incorporate this in the menu. So I'm glad they did that. But yeah, I would get this again. I got the sticky pork ribs. Again, we just did starters for this because we didn't have a lot of time, so we were gonna go. But I did the sticky pork ribs for $15, and they're salt cured green cabbage furikake. Again, I don't know what that is. Jicama slaw and pineapple chips. I think they gave you 5 or 6 of these.
It was a pretty decent amount.
Decent amount. Like, it was filling. Like, I was full, and I think it was really good. It was really good. It was a little salty. It was a little too salty for my taste.
You're complaining about salt.
I know. At the very end, like the aftertaste was really salty. Maybe it was just me.
I didn't pick up on that. I thought they were really good.
Maybe I don't know. But again, I still enjoyed it. It was just a touch salty for maybe I got a bad bite or something like that.
I will say these are probably the best ribs I've had at Disney. I think they did these the best ones.
They're really good.
So
and they are sticky. They are messy.
Mm-hmm.
So get your wipes. Get your wipes. But filling and really good. And our son got mac and cheese. Got white cheddar mac and cheese.
The
entire thing.
Which that was the good mac and cheese. So
yeah. I would like to come back here and try some more things. I would like to try. Okay, so I heard the Wayfinder burger is really good. Like, really good.
I know. I'm so tired of burgers being $26 though.
I know.
On principle,
I know.
it drives me nuts. I know, but I have heard. I just want to try something different on top of that. But yeah.
Someone said you should try the short rib loco moco, and that's the shiitake mushroom gravy, crispy rice cake, and fried egg.
Oh, okay. I can try.
I think you might like that. I really do. And I would like to try. I really want to try like the poke bowl. The grilled teriyaki chicken one, but it has nuts in it. So if I can get those without it, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
They have like teriyaki chicken sliders. They have salads. They have pork chops. Not a lot of main items on the menu. I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 10.
Yeah.
So it's not a center of variety, but
I mean, I would like to go here. This would be a good date night spot.
Sure.
Because not that it's exclusive, but I don't think it's necessarily designed with kids in mind, which kind of is. I mean, they have kid items. I'm not saying they're not like you can't have kids. I'm just saying like, again, a lot of these things are designed with more adults in mind.
Let's see, the kids can go the white cheddar mac and cheese, cheeseburgers, grilled white fish, or grilled teriyaki chicken.
Right. I'm talking more about like the way it's laid out and the vibe of it. It's not like
I see. Okay.
Real kitty type stuff. So I think this would be a good date night spot. Again, if you were out here in the evening, be really pretty. I do wonder at some point if they put a time limit. Because I imagine around fireworks time.
You can't just sit at your table for 3 hours.
That's the thing. What are they going to do about that? Like, people are going to get a table at like 5 o'clock and just hang out until fireworks.
Will they eventually require reservations after like 5 o'clock?
They might.
I think they should.
We were there a while. And I mean, I'm not going to name names, but there were certain people that were there legitimately sitting
for
down
hours in the same
and there
spot.
were tons of, and it's just like, I get it. You want to go through your stuff, but I'm just like, this stuff like this is going to cause them to be like, you have an hour. You know what I mean? Like, because again, I can see getting near fireworks and people just camp out in there because you can literally see the fireworks from the table.
Yeah. I do want to say you talked about the bar and like the lounge area. It is just walk up only. And you can sit down if there's a free table. With the regular restaurant, you have to be seated. They have to call you in. So you can't just sit down over there.
Yeah.
But everything I saw, we didn't try any drinks, but everything I saw for the cocktails was just not good. Like everything was pre-mixed. Everything was just very mediocre. So that's all I heard.
I noticed the pre-mixed stuff on there, and I thought about trying. They had a beer that sounded interesting, but then I stood in line for 10 minutes and didn't move, and I was like, I don't need it that bad. So I just left.
You guys really challenged Jared and his patience.
Well, it's fine. I don't need it anyways. But
it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess it's about final thoughts. Like, what did you think overall of it? All that stuff.
Overall, I think this place is beautiful. I enjoy the vibe. I like that it's modern. Now, again, doesn't match the regular Polynesian Village side. Not exactly. It's its own vibe, and that, that's okay. They can't exactly match it. There is no dark wood. You notice that?
I did notice
There's
that.
no dark
That's one
wood
of the
over
complaints
there.
I had about it.
Okay,
was that, yeah.
Would I stay here? Sure. Now the points for these hotels or this tower is pretty high. So our friends, it was $27, $27, 27 points for their theme park view deluxe studio, which is that's a lot. That's a lot of points. If you're familiar with DVC at all, I think you can get like a value studio at Animal Kingdom for as low as like 9 points a night.
Yeah.
So in comparison, like it's just, you just kind of have to feel like how many points you want to use. If you're a DVC member, you can rent points to stay here. You can also pay cash. They do offer cash rooms that you can pay for if you're not a DVC member. So lots of
for
options.
About $920.
Yeah, we priced it out. It was pretty high. But would I stay here? Absolutely. I would. That would be great. I think I would maybe just do like one night just to try it. But what did you think?
It's not that I don't like the hotel. I like the hotel. It has a good looking vibe to it. It has, I'm not against all the theming of it and things like that. And for the use of space they did was pretty good. My main issue with it has been the whole time is it being on the Polynesian or in the Polynesian, because I do worry and wonder what it's going to do to the regular Polynesian area. Like I think it's going to make everything else more crowded. Especially because that restaurant can't hold that many people.
Right.
So if people want to go eat, they're going to go over to the regular Poly. So I think that's only going to get busier over there.
Yep.
I really enjoy the Polynesian's vibe and feel, and that like old school Hawaiian, like retro Disney Polynesian vibe. This isn't anything like that. And I kind of always have liked Polynesian feeling a little bit more like you escape somewhere. I feel like this tower takes that away. I feel like it doesn't make you feel, it has much more of a, well, you're not going to see a tower. I mean, you don't see that, if you're like in Polynesian, you're typically like in that, at least in my mind. So
I see what you're saying.
It's nice. It's not nice. It has a lot of amenities to it that I think are really cool. But again, like if you put this anywhere else than the Polynesian, if this was just out on its own somewhere, I'd be like, that's a pretty cool hotel. But it's just where it's at, which has been my beef with it the whole time, is the fact that they took a small little space and decided to put this in here. And I don't know. We'll see what it does long term with the Polynesian. I just had a feeling the whole time it's going to mess with the overall flow of the rest of the Polynesian.
Yeah. My final thoughts is that if you are staying in a regular like resort view or a standard view, whatever they call it, that faces the monorail, close your curtains if you're getting dressed, because that monorail is real close.
I was gonna say, I do wonder how loud it is in there, because it's very close to there. But
that's our review. It was great to check it out. Opening day of a hotel. I don't think we've ever been to one. Wait, we have at Universal. Never mind. Just kidding.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Well, either way, I think that'll do it for the show here.
Okay.
So be sure to check us out on social media at Captain Magic everywhere, even TikTok now. And be sure to check us out on, like I said, on YouTube at CTM Podcast. You can find video versions of the show there. And you can also find daily videos over at Cap the Magic on YouTube, where I'll do 1 to 2, sometimes even 3 videos a day that will cover theme parks, pop culture, Universal, Epic Universe, all sorts of stuff there. So I just talk about that. Sometimes the financial side of things that we don't cover on this show, when it comes to Disney and Universal, I'll talk about over there as well, because this is what this show is, and Jamie doesn't care about talking about that stuff. So I just talk about it there.
That's not... Well, don't say that.
Well, I'm just saying it's not your lane.
It's not my lane. You're right. Yeah. It's not my lane.
But that's what sometimes I'll talk about over there. So again, at Captain Magic there. We're almost at 10,000 subs over there. So go subscribe over there and help us continue to grow that. And of course, we have some other shows on the network. We have the CTM Universal show, which we haven't had an episode in a couple of weeks because of schedules and kids being sick and Jamie being sick and Christmas. So we will have an episode coming out Monday.
So we're going to do a joint Monday Universal Disney episode. We're just going to talk about like the top stuff from the rest of the year and like the top news and stuff, we're going to do it together because that's the only option we have before Christmas.
We'll have something come out on Monday.
We will.
Either less. Then Jamie has Trip Tales with her trip report show. When's the next one there coming out?
Should be over Christmas break sometime.
Okay.
Yep. So like we said, we'll have one more episode before the end of the year, which will be on Monday. Again, a joint Universal Disney episode. And then we're taking a little bit of time off because we're going to be in Missouri.
By a little bit, which means a week, but.
I mean, it's a little bit. Yeah. And then we'll
you made it seem like we're going to go on an expedition somewhere.
No. And then we'll be back after the first of the year with a new episode. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to go back to the cold in the Midwest. Yeah. That's fun.
Anyways, all right. Well, hopefully everybody has a Merry Christmas. Of course, we'll talk to you guys on Monday. But either way, that's going to do it for the show. So thank you everybody for listening and or watching, and thank you Jamie for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we'll see you in the parks. And happy holidays.
Bye.